What's up, folks? This is Leviscus here with part 2 of my Hearthstone Basics introduction. Today we will be going over the different classes, their heroes, and all of their respective hero powers, as well as going a little bit more in depth with each hero, give a little bit of backstory on who they are, what they've done, just so you kind of get a feel for who they are. Let's get started, shall we? As you can see here, we have our 9 lovely contestants for The Price is Right. And we will start with the lucky number 1 warrior, Garrosh Hellscream, also known as Ducius Maximus Squared. A little bit of history for him. Garrosh, he is the son of Grom Hellscream and the former chieftain of the Warsong clan out in Outlands. He is currently the war chief of the Horde in Thrall's absence, and is constantly bidding to go to war with the Alliance, because he's a frickin' tard. He's hated by most, including myself, and including most of the major faction leaders of the Horde, as well as the Alliance. He killed Karn Bloodhoof, which pissed me off royally, and has attempted to have Zul'jin assassinated, which failed. And if you're playing WoW currently, you'll find out in patch 5.4, well, he's going to get coming to him when he gets shoved a boot up his butt. He's currently gone, completely power hungry, and he's going insane, and we're going to kill his ass. So that's that. But in Hearthstone, he's the warrior class representative. He's actually not too shabby. He's got a lot of powerful spells and minions at his disposal, which we will go over in a future video. But for now, let's see what his lovely hero power is. As you can see here, Garrosh, Armor Up. Costs 2 mana, gives him 2 armor. Gives your hero +2 armor, and it acts kind of as health. It stacks on top of your current health, although it does not act as a heal, so he cannot use it to heal other minions. Technically doesn't heal himself either, however, it's like an extra buffer. So if you have 30 health, you cast Armor Up, you've got 30 health as well as 2 armor. If you get attacked, they have to eat through the armor in order to get to your actual health pool, which is nice. I think he's got a couple cards. I think Shield Block's a good one. Gives him 5 armor, lets him draw a card. So you combo that in with Armor Up. His armor can bump up pretty quick. So that's Garrosh Hellscream in a nutshell. See who we've got next. The old war chief, Thrall, son of Dorotan. Blah blah blah. He is the shaman class representative. Thrall was the war chief of the Horde up until the events of the recent Cataclysm, where he gave temporary leadership to Garrosh Hellscream, who we just talked about, in order to lead the Earthen Ring against Deathwing and the Twilight's Hammer cult. We all know how that went. Deathwing is dead. He's dead. Upon finding out about Garrosh's corruption and disloyalty to members of the Horde currently, he seeks to rally all of those who are loyal to the Horde and its cause. In doing this, he will do it in secret, hoping to overthrow and kill Garrosh and unite the races of the Horde once again. Now, whether or not he'll be war chief at the end of this is yet to be seen. They've kind of hinted at the fact that he won't. I'm going to assume either... I think it'll be Bane, Bloodhoof, Karn's son, and now current leader of the Tauren. But I have a very distinct feeling that it's going to be Zul'jin, who's probably one of the oldest members of the new Horde, as well as one of the wisest. Wouldn't surprise me if he takes over that role. Anyway, Thrall's hero power, Totemic Call, costs 2 mana, summons a random totem. It can summon one of 4 random totems to fight for Thrall himself. They can range from the Healing Totem, which is a 0/2, which heals 1 damage to all friendly minions and your hero character at the end of your turn. Searing Totem, which spawns a 1/1 just attacking totem. Stoneclaw Totem, which is a 0/2 totem with taunt, and a Wrath of Air Totem, which is a 0/2 totem that gives +1 spell power, which is handy to have if you have a very spell-heavy shaman deck. Onward to the rogue with the old portrait, which I apologize for. I couldn't find anything up to date as far as just a screenshot, and for some reason I was too lazy to pull the game up and do it that way, so we're just gonna pretend that, hey, there's the new portrait. Hey, it's Valeera Sanguinar. Hey, what's going on? Little bit of history. Valeera, as a child, her parents were killed by bandits, which made her go apeshit crazy, and she killed a bunch of people. Not really. She survived that attack and the Scourge, and ended up being captured and jailed for attempting to steal a shaman's talisman. Don't know which shaman, it didn't really say, but whatever. And injuring some of the guards during her capture, she attracted the attention of an arena promoter and was sold off to Rhaegar Earthfury, so she could be used to fight in the Crimson Ring. She did this alongside Blood-Eye Redfist and Blood-Eye Redfist and Brol Baremantle. During her capture, she came across another prisoner, King Varian Wrynn, who had washed up upon a shore after being captured himself. He had no recollection of who he was, but with the help of Brol and Valyria, he escaped and made it back to Stormwind, whereupon he miraculously remembered who the fuck he was. Yeah. Her herself being a blood elf, she is actually not loyal to either the Alliance or the Horde, but she does hold personal alliance to King Varian as well as his son Anduin. As far as her current whereabouts, no one really knows where she's at or what she's doing. Last time we saw her, she was with Brol, helping the Alliance and Horde take back the Undercity during the War on the Lich King, which was a couple expansions ago. So, don't really know where she's at now, but we know that she's buddy-buddy with Varian and Anduin, so she'll probably show up somewhere in the near future. As far as her hero power, Dagger Mastery, it costs 2 mana. Like everything else, it equips a 2/1 dagger or gives your current weapon +1 attack for this turn. So if you have your Dagger Mastery active, you use it next turn, it becomes a 2/1 dagger. Deal 2 damage with that, or if you have another one of her daggers equipped, you can pop them up even higher, comboing it with Deadly Poison. And that is that. Bye, Valyria. Next on our list is the Paladin, Uther Lightbringer. He was the first Paladin of the Knights of the Silver Hand and was mentor to Prince Arthas Menethil himself, who then later became the Lich King and was a giant total doucher and ended up killing Uther and disbanding the, Knights of the Silver Hand forever. Let's see. Not too much more really go into depth with him. He was one of the most powerful paladins. Again, met his end at the hands of Arthas douchebag McGee. Currently, you can see his tomb in Western Plaguelands every now and again. NPCs say that they can see his spirit and he will talk to you. Yay. You can talk to by a dead guy. Yeah. Anyway, his hero power, Reinforce, costs 2 mana, summons a 1/1 Silverhand Recruit. So basically, you get a 1/1 for 2. Not super cost-effective compared to a lot of the other hero powers, but not bad in its own right, I guess. You basically, kind of like Thrall, you're getting a Flame Tongue Totem every time you use it, but with the amount of buffs that Uther has at his disposal, get a 1/1 out next turn, it can be a 5/5 very easily. So, not super cost-effective right out the gate, but can become very, very painful and very much of a nuisance to get rid of later on. Next up, we have Rexxar the Hunter. Rexxar, champion of the Horde. He is the Hunter representative. He is a half-ogre, half-orc beastmaster of the Mok'Nathal clan. He is thought to be one of the last of his kind in that clan. He has helped protect Orgrimmar from attack during the Burning Legion's attack and the Scourge attack, and is currently in Thunderlord Stronghold in Outlands, protecting the settlement while also searching for more of his kind. So right now, he's he's the only one. He's like Tigger. He's the only one. Yeah. Being a hunter, it's not surprising that his hero ability would be Steady Shot or Arcane Shot, one of the two. They chose to go with Steady, made Arcane a spell. What can you do? Cost 2, deals 2 damage directly to the enemy hero. Cannot target minions. Keep that in mind. It's 2 damage directly to your opposing hero. Kind of powerful. Would be, I think, a little OP if you could target whatever with it. But when you take into account what Janus can do, I kind of see where they're going with that. But it's probably more situational than anything if you don't have anything to play, or if you're just kind of wanting to get that little extra damage output on your enemy hero. Not a bad hero power. Next up on the list, we've got Malfurion Stormrage. He's the first Night Elf Druid, and initiated the mainstream use of Druidism among the Night Elves under the tutelage of the demigod Cenarius. He is the twin brother of Illidan Stormrage. You are not prepared for that horrible, horrible attempt at imitating his voice. And he is the husband of the High Priestess of Elune, Tyrande Whisperwind. There we go. He traverses the Emerald Dream in the hopes of quelling the Emerald Nightmare, as well as protect those in the waking world from its plague. He was last seen aiding the Alliance and Horde against the Fire Lord Ragnaros and Deathwing during the events of the Cataclysm. His hero ability, Shapeshift. Got some funky, miscolored eyes going on there. Cost 2. You gain 1 attack and 1 armor for this turn. It can be used to attack minions or other heroes. It also gives armor, kind of like Garrosh's hero power. It does stack. Again, it does not act as a heal, so you cannot use it to heal another minion or heal your own current health pool. It just acts as a buffer. Next up on the list is Gul'dan, Betrayer of the Orcs. He is a warlock, and he was a former orc shaman who became the first orcish warlock, as well as the original founder of the orcish horde. He was exceptionally talented in the shamanistic arts and was made an apprentice to the elder shaman Ner'zhul, which, if you've played WoW, you know he's pretty much why the Lich King exists. I'll let you go do your own research on that. Gul'dan soon betrayed Ner'zhul and his people for personal gain and power from the Demilord Kil'jaeden, and was directly responsible for the orcs' fall to demonic enslavement and the invasion of Azeroth. So he's one twisted, crazy motherfucker. He became the master of the Shadow Council and was the creator of the original Death Knights. So we can blame him for everything that happened, you know, pretty much forever, because he's a giant doucher. During the Second War, he sought after the Tomb of Sargeras to gain untold power, only to realize it was too late, that he had just been used to fulfill the agenda of Sargeras and Kil'jaeden to release demons upon Azeroth. So not only did he release orcs and everything else against us, he's also the motherfucker responsible for getting all of these demons all up in our grill. So you want to blame anybody for any bad things that have happened in Azeroth for probably the past umpteen years? Blame this guy. He pretty much screwed up on all accounts. And you can't really take that back. As that happened, it was where he met his untimely death, so he's no longer living. However, his memory survived within the fell magic of his skull, to be found and awoken by the demon hunter Illidan Stormrage. So even in death, he's corrupting, you know, those who are willing to fight for the good for everyone and turn them into giant douchebags. His hero power, Life Tap, costs 2 mana. It lets him draw a card at the cost of 2 life. Can be pretty good depending on the situation you're in, especially if you have a lot of creatures and or spells that can give you life back. You know, wouldn't recommend using it if you have probably 10 or less health, because it's really going to put you in a bind. However, it could get you that 1 extra card you need to finish off your opponent. So definitely not one of the worst of the hero powers. I'd say it's probably one of the best, depending on the situation. Next up, we've got Jaina Proudmoore. She is the class mage representative. She is the founder and former leader of Theramore Island, the Alliance's major port in northern Kalimdor. She was once one of the most talented and trusted sorceresses of the Kirin Tor, and was sent to discover what was happening in Lordaeron. She met up with Arthas. He was kind of in the middle of going crazy. Yeah, so she's, I think, was a love interest at one point of him. That kind of weighed heavily on her. But what can you do? Arthas was unstable from the beginning. She's currently the leader of the Kirin Tor, and is one of many who seek to see Garrosh removed from power. Mainly because Garrosh led an attack against Theramore, destroying it with a mana bomb, and taking the leader of the the Kirin Tor, Ronan, with it. So needless to say, she's a little pissed. I'm pretty sure she's going to want to chuck a couple fireballs up Garrosh's nose and out the back of his head. Anyway, Fire Blast costs 2 mana, deals 1 damage to anything. You can even target your own minions with it, so if you have something out within rage, or if you have like the Gurubashi Berserker out, he's a 2/7. Whenever he takes damage, he gains 3 attack. That'd be a perfect card to have in that. You peg it for 1, it then becomes a 5/6. You peg it again, it's an 8/5. Like, it's definitely good for buffing up your own minions that have those types of abilities, as well as clearing out your opponent's minions on the board. Or even if you don't have anything else to do, just kind of, you know, flip your opponent in the nose with a fireball, like, there you go. And last but not least, on our lineup of hero dudes, the priest representative, Anduin Wrynn. He is the son of King Varian Wrynn of Stormwind and heir to the throne of Stormwind. As a 10-year-old boy, he was crowned king due to the disappearance of his father, which we found out he was being used to fight people in the arena. He was advised by Lady Katrana Prestor, who we later found out to be Onyxia, and High Lord Bolvar Fordragon, who is now the current Lich King, spoilers if you didn't already know that. He is skilled in the art of knife throwing as well as archery, but has shown a great response to the light. This, in return, has resulted in him being a very skilled priest, and he seeks nothing else but to bring peace to all of the races of the Alliance and the Horde. So he's a goody-goody, but also very powerful, and very good at what he does. His hero power, Lesser Heal, heals your hero or target minion for 2 health, can also target the enemy hero and their minions. That would come into play for the simple fact if you play an Anchenai, I think that's how you say it, Anchenai Soul Priest, or if you play Shadow Form. My brain died there for a second. That would then, in turn, Shadow Form turns your hero power from restoring 2 health to dealing 2 damage. You play an Anchenai Soul Priest, anything that you would do that would cause healing, then in turn deals damage, which also would make your Lesser Heal, you deal damage in that regard. So kind of a double-edged blade. You can use it to heal yourself or your minions if things are, shit's hitting the fan, or you can use it as an offensive weapon depending on the situation. So not too bad. I'd say probably one of the stronger hero powers out of the bunch. And that, my friends, is it. Thanks for watching. Peace!